Hello! Welcome back to our channel. My name is Lilith, and this is House of Tales. Today, we will be celebrating the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival, or 中秋节 in Chinese. It's a festival celebrated by many Asian cultures, although I am only familiar with Chinese traditions due to my family background. My family is not a big fan of mooncakes, so I thought I could make a pseudo paper lantern for festivities. Originally, I thought that it would be fun to try something new, so I decided to attempt paper cutting, but then I didn't realize that it was so hard. This was my first attempt at paper cutting, and I definitely underestimated just the amount of time and the amount of control I needed for the blade. Not that I thought it would be easy, I just thought that I would finish it within 6 hours, which did not happen. So that's why this video is a little bit late. I think I overshot a little bit. Also, I thought that if I worked a little bit smaller, I would be able to save time. But then looking back, I definitely should have worked a little bigger. The legend of the Chinese moon goddess, or Chang'e, is central to the festival in China. The story goes like this. In a very distant past, 10 suns had risen together into the skies and scorched the earth, thus causing hardship for the people. The archer, Hou Yi, shot down 9 of them, leaving just 1 sun, and was given the elixir of immortality as a reward. He did not consume it right away, but let his wife Chang'e keep it, as he did not want to gain immortality without his wife. However, one day, when Hou Yi went out hunting, his apprentice broke into his house and tried to force Chang'e to give him the elixir. In a panic, she prevented him from getting it by consuming the elixir herself. Chang'e then flew upward towards the heavens, choosing the moon as residence, as she loved her husband Hou Yi and hoped to live nearby him. Hou Yi discovered what had happened and felt sad, so he displayed the fruits and cakes that Chang'e had liked as a sacrifice for her. Did you know that Chang'e's name was mentioned in a conversation when Americans first landed on the moon back in 1969? NASA published a voice transcript, and I thought it was funny that Chang'e was referred to as the bunny girl. Speaking of the rabbit in the moon, its origin story differs from Chang'e's and has many variations depending on the culture. For example, in Chinese stories, the rabbit is crafting immortality elixirs for the goddess. In Korean and Japanese stories, it is simply pounding mochi. I'm not sure if the rabbit just eats them after. I feel like it's kind of lonely eating mochi by yourself. Good thing it's not alone anymore. The Moon Festival has traditionally been a choice occasion to celebrate marriages as well. Girls will pray to the moon deity to help fulfill their romantic wishes. Another challenge I found working with this piece was the contrast between positive and negative space, and choosing when to make something positive and something negative. I do wish that I made the pagoda just a little bigger so that I can get more details in. But luckily, my composition isn't heavily emphasized in terms of perspective, so I sort of got away with the super simple looking building structure. When I was drawing, I found the drawing inhibiting in some ways. So gradually I began to just abandon the drawing and just going with my gut instinct, which was not the best idea because a lot of times I would carve out these beautiful details and then accidentally cut them off because I realized that, oh, this was supposed to be negative or this was supposed to be positive. I ran into a lot of confusion working on this. My favorite part was definitely carving out the waves, the clouds, and the flowers. Carving out the big circle shape in the end was actually the easiest part, so I probably should have worked bigger, but you know me. After that, I attempted to fasten the drawing onto an embroidery hoop that I found in our storage. My cat came to interrupt me. This is Suki. She was feeling very needy. She tends to not talk to me much. Usually she's with my mom, so I felt like I had to give her some attention. But it was definitely hard working on this with a cat in between me and the piece. I couldn't really see. She's pretty well behaved though. She doesn't try to bat at anything or play with anything. I think she just really wanted to spend time with me, which is really sweet. I think Suki means moon too, right? So it's very fitting for the theme. I'm sorry if the lighting in this video was a little too inconsistent. I'm still working on setting up my new studio space upstairs. I clipped off the ring at the top because I didn't want the white paper to be exposed, since I knew that I wanted this piece to be backlit. And here's the finish. I have two pieces of tracing paper in front and behind the paper cut. As you can see, it's definitely a little foggier, a little translucent. I really like the effect and how much it changes depending on the light source. Here I tried playing with fairy lights, and it just gives the scenery such a mystical, magical feeling. I really love it. I used two different blues for the fairy lights, and you can see how the arrangement impacts the overall effect. Thank you so much for watching and just always being so encouraging and supportive. Your words really mean a lot to me. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I will see you soon.